Ask greatly the wise one, listen, answers in song. To the ones who remember and those who have gone too long, the sky keeps it secret, the sea keeps it still. But I carry a bow continuing to dwell. Come closer, listen to the fire and mist, for I saw the year, the south wind, mist. Not a storm or thunder sound, but with sickness on its wings, homeward bound. It came unseen like ghosts three, a southern fire, a northern green. And when the flocks took rest by bay, they left behind and would not stay. There lived a man of cedar hand, Wagwa, a healer of sea and land. He knew the root the tide would flame. He cured with word and sacred name. He heard the coughing, smelled the burn, knew the fever had made its turn. He boiled herbs till the steam ran wild. He soothed the mothers, blessed each child. But every night the voices fell, and every dawn were empty shell. He prayed, take me instead, great flame. Let the fires live within my name. The fever heard a rapid bolt, like fog around a drowning soul. He shivered long through endless night, and dreamy birds that blend with light. They thought him gone, his body still, the fevers would complete its will. But on the dawn of the seventh day, his chest was slow, smoke gave way. Scars like rivers marked his skin, where fire still burned deep within. He woke and whispered through cracked breath, the fire sleeps, fools the rest. And I, from my watch in the morning tree, saw his spirit flicker wild and free. Free when sickness cruel and red could not dim the fire had bred. The coast lay hushed, the people few, and into silence the strangers drew. They came with timber, iron, and nail, with the flag of trade and a holy tale. At McLaughlin Bay they staked their claim, and carved their signs on land and name. They built their fort where tears still fell, and called it peace, though none could tell. He said, we bring the word, the cure, the plan. But they built their walls on another man. The fever had done what greed could not, and the fort was proud on the ground it fought. Wagwa watched from the cedar's crown, his fire dimmed, his people down. He turned from shore to forest deep, where moss and river secrets keep. He found a cave where mist could hide, a place the law would never abide. He healed what he could in whisper and smoke. His song soft as breath, his drum never spoke. The children who wandered said at night they heard a river beneath the light, a heartbeat echoing through the stone, reminding them they weren't alone. Seasons passed, his scars grew old, but fire still burned through frost and cold. One winter long, when snow lay deep, he rose from his cave, his oath to keep. He gathered those still unafraid, to dance where silence had decayed. Drums were lit, their voices soared, songs of birth the law ignored. They called it crime, he called it grace, the first rebellion out his race. Cedar masks of bird and beast spoke of hunger and peace. But whispers travel as whispers do, the law had spies among the few. One traded truth for the agent's pay, and the fourth prepared to make them pay. Down the path of frozen reeds came men of paper, faith and needs. They read their rules with tongues of lead, and took what life had sung instead. They seized the masks, the rattles that played. They laughed at the songs they could not name. They said your ways are over now. The crowd's your fire, the church your vow. They asked for names, for guilt, for blame. But Wagwa spoke not his people's shame. He said, you cannot cage the tide, nor chain the sea, nor make truth hide. He took himself under watch that day. The iron halls where shadows stay. The cliffs he passed still held his song. The waves repeated he did no wrong. Within that cell of echoing gray, he dreamed of fever in reverse that day. The ducks flew back, their wings like glass, reflecting futures yet to pass. He saw a child now born of his time, sailing the mist with words that rhyme. He saw the ghost boat glide the bay, its captain speak, with fire his way. He smiled and whispered, so it returns. The fire sleeps, yet always burns. The iron cracked, the walls dissolved, and through that dream his life evolved. For when the heater's breath moved in, his ember leapt to light again. It flew on wings of southern flame, and found the voice that bears his name. Now I, raven, keeper of sky, watch the fever live and die. It came from birds, but it brought more, a test of loss, a hidden door. The sickness burned what greed could claim, but through the ash rose Wagwa's flame. They built their fort, they wrote their rules, but could not cage the spirits of schools. Each spring when geese return from south, I hear his prayer in the river's mouth. That what is taken, time restores, in feathers, songs, and ocean shores. So if you see wings in light dawn, remember the heater whose fire lives on. For every shadow cast by hand, a new bird rises to reclaim the land. Feed the fire, keep the flight, support the stories that still take me. The links in the about section. The fever fades, the fort stands tall. New lights gleam in the colonists' hall. They call it progress, they name it dawn, but I see shadows where fate is drawn. Next time, when reason blooms and mercy hides, the Colonial Enlightenment begins, the shadows recede. Ask raven, remembers what others forget. The sea's long promise, the sun's dead. Wagwa's story rides the rain, through fever's loss, and truths remain. What you forget, raven remembers, through fire and embers. Raven remembers, nevermore, nevermore, nevermore.